What's going on, guys, and welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where every single week I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content that I watch on the WWE Network, as I've been doing for the last week or so, breaking down all the specials that aired on the network back on Christmas Eve, including WWE Kitchen SmackDown, which dropped earlier today, here on my channel, my review of it anyway, Xavier's Arcade Challenge, and Fashion Files Cold Case Unit. So if you haven't already checked out those reviews, please do so. This one, entitled Botch Club, features members of the club, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, breaking down all the botches in WWE's history. And it was a lot like what I talked about on Kitchen SmackDown. It was a lot like that old show that aired on the WWE YouTube channel about 6 or 7 years ago. I think it was called Oh You Didn't Know. I know it featured Road Dogg and Josh Matthews. They took a lot of shots of the fans and a lot of insider jokes. It was actually really entertaining. This wasn't nearly as entertaining. And I like Gallows. I like Anderson. They're two funny guys. But I feel like we've seen this before. Like, why would I enjoy a show like this when we have something so similar on the internet that's 10 times better with Botchamania? It was essentially WWE's version of Botchamania, but not nearly as funny. So, like, the first segment is entitled Top Rope Turmoil, where people fall off the top rope and they botch. And they feature clips of Kalisto, Kevin Nash, The Hurricane, Psychosis, Jeff Hardy, Sabu, Lanny Poffo, Chris Jericho, Matt Hardy, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and of course Titus World Slide from the greatest Royal Rumble, the most overhyped botch in WWE history, which it's very entertaining. It's one of the greatest botches of all time, but they played up like a million times on this show. It's like, okay, at a certain point, it's not as funny. But anyway, so they go behind the botch, as they call it, with Titus O'Neil and what was going through his mind as he went underneath the ring. And he talks about how the atmosphere was amazing. The producers were apparently telling him to hurry up to get to the ring, and that's why he slid. And he jokes, and he's like, oh, I was trying to get the Hornswoggle because, you know, he was in the ring too. And obviously he was like, oh, yeah, I planned the whole thing, which he obviously didn't. The only cool thing about this is that they show the backstage reaction of the botch, which I don't think I've ever seen before. I know they put up videos of the botch in like alternate angles after it happened back in April, but I don't think I'd ever seen the reaction backstage, like the video of it, until now. So that was cool. They show like Adam Pearce and maybe Dean Malenko and a few others like what the fuck was that? Like they're just laughing about it and telling him to go on, which was funny. That's about the only really thing worth watching from this entire Botch Club show. They also break down Halloween Havoc 1995, the infamous monster truck match, and you know WWE can't resist making fun of WCW despite the fact they have equally dumb angles, if sometimes not, if not worse angles on their own television show on Raw. I imagine we're gonna have the same show 20 years from now, breaking down like AOPP and all this other dumb shit on Raw. I have no doubt about it. So they really should slow down on the ridicule of WCW, but that's purely my opinion. They also show a quick clip of Luke Gallows' Tough Enough tryout from a few years ago, from like a decade ago. The tryout is shown, and then Big Show farts to close out the episode. And that's Botch Club. There really isn't anything to review here. Like I said, it was mildly entertaining, but not nearly as good as that old Road Dogg Josh Matthews show, and also not nearly as entertaining as Botchamania. So this is a pass for me. I'm sorry. I would not sit down and watch this show if I were you. I mean, it's all right. It's not terrible, but it's very forced. I like Gallows. I like Anderson. They had some fun with it. They deserve more television time, more of a platform of their own to kind of be themselves. This isn't it. This, I feel like, has been done to death with WWE before. Other people do it better. It's not that funny. It's their own comedy. I'm not a fan. But it was all right. It wasn't terrible, but it was easily, I would argue, the weakest of all the specials they put up on Christmas Eve. I would say Kitchen SmackDown wins out, then Fashion Files, then Xavier's Arcade Challenge, and then this. I just didn't really care for this much at all, personally. But that's my review. That's my 2 cents. Did you guys agree? Did you guys check it out even? Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. Hopefully my review of the latest episode of The Edge and Christian Show will be up here on the channel as the latest edition of WWE Network and Chill at some point in the next few days. So with all that being said, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.